Hello. Welcome, and we're so glad to have you here. I am Matt, and I am the Human Resources Manager. I've been with the company for 3 years, and I will be your interviewer for today.
Good day to you, sir. I am Jonathan TAMBIS and I'm applying for Engineering Manager.
Are you ready for the interview? Let's start. How would someone who knows you well describe you?
For someone who knows me very well, they would possibly describe me as an optimistic, resourceful, and motivated person. I always practice myself to dwell more on the positive side for each and every situation. Even one time, when I was tasked to lead a group for a dance contest just within the school, and my team is gradually losing hopes about winning, considering the fact that we encountered a lot of problems such as lack of financial and moral support from our coaches, I immediately took full responsibility for the team. So even from costumes down to polishing of our dance, I never missed a day to motivate my team during every practices, and luckily we were able to finish as champion for that contest.
What is the most recent criticism you've received from a supervisor, and how did you respond?
While working at a huge automobile company, I was assigned to perform my first design presentation to the entire boards for our planning and design board meeting. But before that, I approached first our department supervisor days ahead before the meeting and asked him if I can present my design to him before I present it to the board so that I can do some adjustments if ever. And after my presentation to my supervisor, he pointed out that my template used for the presentation is quite off and doesn't complement to the presentation at all. He also notices that the way I delivered the concept of the design was a little bit messy and was not impressed with my overall presentation. So then I asked for some advices and words from my supervisor. He only said that maybe a little research on how to properly and successfully present presentations will be a huge help, as well as taking words and advices from my colleagues would be a better action too. So in line with that, I did some research as my preparations for the upcoming board meeting, and in addition to that, I approached my senior colleagues for some advices and I listened and observed every words from them. Then the board meeting day is finally on schedule and it was my turn to present the design to them, and right after, finally I was done with my presentation and I was genuinely shocked and amazed by the reactions, wherein the boards are clapping their hands and gave me handshakes right after. They said that my presentation is very well organized and professional, and as well as the design was good and on point according to them. I also noticed my supervisor giving me applause from afar. It was a very successful feeling to me, and I'm so happy to the outcome of my first design presentation.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
This job that I'm applying for will definitely give me opportunities to grow as I take on more responsibilities and have major contribution in this company as an engineering manager. So in 5 years time, I see myself in a good position here in this respected company, leading a very productive team, performing high quality works and services, whether on field or in office.
What was your very first engineering experience?
My very first engineering experience was during my senior years, when we were able to design and eventually develop a working prototype of our project called MAPEC. So it's basically a map that can generate electricity during its operation. So it was for our compliance in one of our subject way back then, and also in addition to that, our project was also able to compete in an engineering contest just within the school, and luckily we won first place.
What do you enjoy most and least about engineering?
What I do enjoy most about engineering is the entire process, or the process itself, wherein seeing your progress from theoretically creating something, then bringing it into real life object or machine is a different kind of satisfaction and happiness to me. Being able to know how to build each and every part of the object is challenging, but as well as the technology and tools being used for the project. So that's what makes engineering so exciting. However, my least favorite part of engineering is all about paperwork that comes with a very long formulas and solutions. But I found out that if I set time for these papers to complete on time or daily, it seems less overwhelming already.
What new engineering skills have you recently developed?
Since we had a project recently that uses the digital software to create and generate our design, I was able to indulge more in operating computer software designs, most specifically the Autodesk software, wherein I used the Autodesk Inventor to create a design, and I was even able to do some stress analysis on it using that said software. It was very cool, though I gotta say that it's quite complex to operate, especially when you're just starting to use that kind of software. But I think constant learning will upskill someone's ability on something.
What are the most important qualities for an engineer to have?
We must say that there are a lot of qualities for an engineer to have, but for me, the most important qualities for an engineer to have is that first, he or she must be knowledgeable in both analytical and mathematical aspect. Then second is that he or she must be innovative and has a very wide array of creative thinking. Third is that he or she must be a leader, or at least possess the qualities of being a good leader that has a good communication skills and can confidentially lead a team. And then lastly, he or she must be hardworking, committed, and motivated to work.
How do you keep yourself organized?
Keeping everything organized and well sorted out is a big deal for me, considering the fact that I'm quite a meticulous person, wherein I always wanted things to be well planned and fixed as possible as I could. And even during our family trips, I always do or sometimes help in making the travel itinerary by making list of things and stuffs to do prior to our trips. And this is also the kind of practice I always do during my schooling years. So whenever a very rough week is about to come due to some schoolworks or any school events, I sort everything out by making list of priorities to be done accordingly. And in addition to that, I also put my phone to silent mode every time I wanted to stay focused, and also to avoid myself from any distractions during work. And this helps me to work more efficiently all throughout the rest of the day without any stress and worriedness along the way.
What do you do when you fail?
I have always believed that nobody's perfect, so therefore I am relatively comfortable taking responsibility for my shortcomings, and my approach to this is to figure out what I could change to avoid similar circumstances in the future and take that failure a lesson to learn. And on the other hand, I also look to my professional colleagues in similar jobs, and as well as my co-workers at my organizations for some words and suggestions on how to improve. And I am eager to indulge in any seminars and trainings to upgrade and obtain the skills for a successful engineering manager.
This is the end of your interview. Thank you for your time.